Offering discount in kind to customer is very common procedure in sales, but are you aware that we have in purchasing a similar functionality to ask discount in kind from our vendors? Check it out. Have you seen my last video? It was about S/4HANA Migration Cockpit. Check it out. Also, if you don't want to miss any of these videos again, please subscribe and turn on notifications.
Hello and welcome back to another weekly tutorial. Today we will talk about discount in kind or free goods in purchasing. Discount in kind. This function allows the purchaser to get a free charge in the form of free goods when a certain quantity of product is ordered. Otherwise, free goods are a kind of quantity discount and are granted in the form of a goods delivery that is free of charge when a certain quantity is purchased. There are two types of free goods available in SAP in terms of business. One is the inclusive bonus quantity. The buyer needs to pay only for a part of the goods required. The rest of the goods are for free. This is called inclusive free goods, which mean that part of the purchase quantity is designated as free and not bill, providing the unit of measure should be the same for the free goods and the bill goods. For example, when 10 chairs are ordered, out of which one is designated as free goods, if we order 10 chairs, then 1 chair is delivered to us as ordered, but we will be billed only for the 9 chairs, and 1 chair is given us free. With this, we have received inclusive free goods. The other option is with the exclusive bonus quantity. In this case, the buyer needs to pay for the goods ordered and receive some additional goods for free. This is known as the exclusive free goods and means that free goods are granted for an additional quantity to that in the purchase order. More is delivered than was ordered, and the additional quantity will not be billed. The goods delivered as free do not have to be the same as the material order. When 5 tables are ordered, for example, the vendor supplies 1 extra table or even a chair as a free good. Therefore, if we order 5 tables, we can receive another table as free good or also a chair. With this exclusive bonus quantity functionality, we can get free goods different than the billable materials. So this is the classification in inclusive or exclusive. But then when we set this up, then we have also the method of calculation. And here we have 3 options. The first option is the proportion. Okay. So for example, here if we have 3 units, 20 each 100 units, that means this is like the 20%, okay, of free goods. So if we have a PO quantity of 162 and we apply the 20%, it will be 32.4 or 32 if the units are rounded. Okay, so here we always keep the proportion. Then we have the unit related. So in this case, we certain units are given free for every minimum proposed quantity order. So if we have the same 20 units every 100 units, we need to fulfill every 100 unit batch. So if we have 200 units, we will have 20 for the first 100 and another 20 for the second 100. This is completed. So we have 40. Okay, but for the other 50, we don't have any. Okay, we need to complete another free quantity of units. So another for each 100 that are complete, then we will have 20. And then in the other, the last one is only for whole units. Okay. In this case, no free goods if the quantity ordered does not match the exact quantity proposed. So in the same example, if you have 20 units every 100 units, then we need always to have a multiple of 100. Okay, for 100 we will have 20, for 200 we will have 40, but then for other numbers that are not multiple or 100, for example, 150, 250, etc., 240, 139, etc., we will don't have any free goods. Okay, because here we have to match the whole quantity of 100 units. We will see this explanation only in practical in our demo. Okay, so let's watch till the end. Hello, let's start now with our customizing. So we are already in our IMG. So we start with material management, and under purchasing, we have discount in kind. Okay, so here we have all the steps that we have to do. As you can see, here we will have tables and access sequence. So we are going to use the condition technique that I already explained in another video. So you will have the link here. So if you're not familiar with the condition technique, please check that video first. Okay. So here we can create condition tables. Let's start by displaying one. Here for free goods, we have basically two tables of info record with plant specific or without plant. And these are the fields, okay, that we have in our table. And this is the field catalog that is available so that you can include fields from here to your table, okay? But we can see that we have also the field catalog here, in case that you need to use other fields that are not already included in the field catalog. So just to show how this works, for example, if we want to include a new field, let's check for material group, for example. Let's say that we want to have this field to be used in our condition table. Okay, MATKL. So the field is included in the field catalog. So then, if you want to create a table, let's say that we want to create a table copy from this one. Okay. Now you see these are the existing fields that you have the material group already here. Okay. So you can generate a new table with more fields based on the field catalog that you have included. Okay. I'm not going to do this because we are going to use the original, the standard tables. Okay. So this is how it works. We can then remove the material group in the same way. Okay, so we have our tables, and then we have the access sequence. Okay, and the access sequence is linked to the conditions. Okay, so here we have the point for the access sequence. And you see the access sequence is NR000. Okay, and you have the accesses with the two tables. And here you can see all the fields for table 001 that is info record per plant specific. So, and here we have defined free goods types. Okay, the condition type, the standard is NR00, and it is linked to the access sequence NR00. You can use the same one, but you can also make a copy of this one. Let's call it set NR0. And we're going to leave the same access sequence. Yeah, we're not going to change it. So now we have our condition type set NR0. And then we have the schema. Okay, so let's maintain first the schema. The schema is this one. As we have created a new condition type, we have to include it in a different step, set NR0. Yeah, so here we have the standard and the new one that we have created. And then we have to determine the schema. Okay, this is the schema, and then as in the same conditions, we can link the schema to purchasing organization groups or vendor groups. Okay, so let's say that we want to create a new vendor group, okay, where we are going to link our schema. So we can create here in conditions, define schema groups. Schema groups per vendor or per purchasing organization. So let's do it per vendor. So let's create a new one. Let's call set1. And let's say schema for free goods. Okay, so we have set1 already created. And now we can make the determination of our schema. So this is the schema. So we make a new entry based on the vendor schema group set1, and we link our schema. Okay. So basically, this is the customizing that is linked to the discount in kind. Now we will go on with our master data. Let's start with our master data. So first of all, we're going to create material master. Arrow H, raw materials. Let's select some views. We don't need to select everything. Plant 1000, storage location 0001, warehouse 01. Test free goods 1. Unit measure material group. Okay, here in purchasing, what is important is this field, qualification for free goods discount. So here is where you are going to determine if this material is eligible for discount in kind in purchasing only, in sales only, or in both. Or if you leave it blank, it's not eligible at all for discount in kind. So we are going to use in our case, number 2, as we are just testing for purchasing. Populate some values. Okay, warehouse, the accounting view, valuation class. Let's use V, moving price of 1. Okay, €1 per piece. So we have material 86. And let's create a new one with copy of the 86. Let's select the same views. and let's call it test free goods 2. Okay. So we have 86 with 1 and 91 as free goods 2. Okay, here in the second, we do not need to use this one. Let's take it off. Yeah, the same one. Everything's the same. So we will make a copy of the 86 to the 91, but without the qualification for free goods. Okay. So this is what we need to take care of the material master. Now let's take a look at our vendor master. Okay. So we have already the vendor 1000. So let's check in the purchasing view. So here we have created the schema group set 1, yeah, if you remember, and we link it to our schema for free goods. And then you also have to allow the grant discount in kind. Okay, so these are the two fields that you need to maintain in the vendor master. Okay, this is done. Now, as we have the condition set NR00, we have to maintain the condition record. Okay. So for that, we have in purchasing, master data, subsequent settlements, vendor rebates, environment is a little hidden, this option. Conditions, purchasing, and here you have free goods. Yeah, it will be easy to remember the transactions. MB N1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's start by creating a condition for set NR0. And we're going to use the info record per plant specific. So we have vendor 1000, material 86, purchasing organization, and plant 1000. And let's start with the record. This is the info record type. So it will be standard. The order unit will be pieces. Minimum quantity. So this is the minimum where we can start applying the discount in kind. If the pure quantity is less than the minimum quantity, then this functionality will not be activated. So let's say 10,000. And then we have from 1,000 pieces, we are giving free goods, let's say 100. So it will be like 10%. Okay. So you see here we have 10 free units every 1,000 units. But the minimum when this is activated will be 10,000 units. Here you have the calculation in percentage is 10%. And here you have which method are we using. So first we're going to test the inclusive. Okay, so this is 1, as we explained in the overview. Okay, so let's keep it 1. Yeah, 1 is inclusive and 2 will be exclusive. And then these are the calculations that we also have explained in the overview. So let's start with the number 1, that is a proportional. Okay, so now we can save our conditions. Okay, condition is saved. So now let's create an info record for our part and vendor and populate some values. €1. Okay. We can see in the change, if we go to conditions, we have PB00, €1, and here we have the free goods. Okay, set NR0 with our key and the condition record is found. Okay. So this is all for our master data. So now let's check the step-by-step process. So let's start now with our step-by-step process. So before starting, let's check our condition, how it was set up. So set NR0 for record per plant. And you see we have free goods 1 that is inclusive, and calculation 1 that is proportional. Okay, so let's see with these settings how is the behavior. So let's go and create one PO for our vendor and our material 86. And let's start by adding, you see that the minimum quantity is 10,000, and then we are offering 100 free goods for each 1,000 quantities. So if we use 9,000, it will be less than our minimum quantity. So you see the message minimum quantity for discount in kind not reached. Okay, so here nothing happened. So then if we change to 10,000, then you see that second item, this in fact is a sub-item linked to the highest item, is created. Okay, and you see now that 10,000 order quantity was split in 9,000 plus 1,000 of free goods. Okay, and this is the 10% of inclusive. Okay, so the discount is inclusive in our original PO quantity. Okay, you can see here at the end that this is the highest item 11 is linked to the highest item 10. And you can also see here the sub-item category 2, discount in kind, inclusive bonus. Okay, and you have the other for exclusive. Okay, so we see with 10,000 we have 1,000 discount. If we change to 11,000, we will have 1,100. Okay, always keeping the 10%. If we have 12,000, then we have 1,200. And if we have something in the middle, like this, you see that we are still keeping always the 10%. Okay? So now let's make a change and let's use a different calculation method. So now we're using the unit reference. Okay? So what happened now? We start again, 9,000, nothing happened. With 10,000, then we have the 10%, okay? With 11,000, we still have the 10%, and the same will be with 12,000, okay? Because these are complete units. So, but the change will be now we have something in the middle, like 11,500. Then you see that it is rounding to the complete unit. So it is the same as 11,000, okay? Because it's checking like batches of 1,000 units, okay? So for 10,000, it was 1,000. And for 11, it was 1,100. But then as the 12 was not complete, it's still keeping with the 11. Okay? So this is the difference between this method and the other method. Okay. And now let's do the other change for the final whole units. Okay. And let's do the same. Let's start with 10,000. With 10,000 we have a discount. With 11 we have a discount, but then when we have something that is not multiple, the discount will disappear. Okay, so here we have only discount when we have multiples, in our case of 1,000. Okay, something different that is not in 1,000 multiples, then the discount will not be applied. Okay, so basically inclusive means that you put the PO quantity, 10,000 or whatever, and then the discount is less or include in the PO quantity. Okay, and then we show the three different methods. Now let's see how the exclusive works. So now let's change to the exclusive. Okay. So in exclusive, we need to set the free goods category to 2, exclusive. And let's go back with the calculation method of 1, that is proportional. Then you see now that instead of 10%, now it's 9.09. Why? Because now it is considering 100 plus 1,000, so it will be 1,100 total. So the percentage is 100 on 1,100. Okay, so this is less than the 10%. It is 901. Okay. So let's save this one. Okay, and now let's try to do the same with 10,000. And now you see in 10,000, it is adding the other 10%. Okay, the discount in kind is added. Okay, before when we enter 10,000, then this was changed to 9,000. Okay, and now we are adding, so the total good receipts in this case will be 11,000. Okay, and you see now here that the sub item category, yeah, it is 4. Okay, because this is exclusive bonus quantity. Okay, but always using the same material. Okay, but as we mentioned, we also have the option for the exclusive. Okay, here we are in the exclusive. Now we can add the additional material. Okay, so, and here is why we created the 91. Okay, so now we are saying the same, but instead of giving for free the same material 86, the supplier is giving another part. Okay, so this is an example where, as we explained in the overview, we are buying chairs, or we're buying tables, and we receive some chairs. Okay, so let's check now this one. Yeah, and now you see from the calculation point of view, we are adding 1,000. Okay, price is always 0. And now we have different part number. Okay, 91. Okay, so let's save this one now. And we have checked all the options. With this, let's do the good receipt based on a purchase order. So we are receiving 10,000 plus 1,000, okay? Storage location 0001. Invoice item, okay? Item 2 is for material 91, and the item 1 is for material 86, okay? So let's do a check. And let's post it. Okay, document is posted. So let's check one report. Warehouse stocks for the 86 and the 91. So here we can see for the material 86, we have 10,000 pieces and the price was €1, okay? So we have 10,000 euros. And for material 91, it is 1,000 pieces. The price in the material master is still €1, but here the valuation of this is 0, okay, because it was for free, okay? So now let's complete the flow by doing the invoice verification. In reference to our PO. Let's remove the VAT to 0. Okay, so you can see here that we have 10,000 pieces for 10,000 euros for item 1. And then for the sub-item 11, okay, we have the quantity, but the value is 0. Okay, so the amount of 10,000 euros, the balance is okay. We can check the simulation here. Yeah, so here we have GRAR, okay, against the vendor. Yeah. You can also check all the videos that we have done for account determination where we explain how these are determined. Okay, so now we can save it. Okay, document created. And finally, let's check the PO. So we have our PO history. For the item 1, we have the quantity, 10,000, received and invoiced, as the same as the values. And for the sub-item 11, then we have the quantity, invoice received, but the value is 0, okay, as this is free. So this is how it works. So we have explained the inclusive and the exclusive methods, and with all 3 ways of calculations. And in the exclusive, we have tests with the same part and with a different part as the discount in kind.
Have you enjoyed this video? If so, please give a like, share, comment and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.